everyone, this is Stream from Where the Locals Grow, where we help you with your garden issues to gain food sustainability in your own urban garden. And if you're new here, welcome, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're returning, I'm so glad to see you again. And please remember that anything I mention in this video will be linked in the description box below. Well, we've come to the final series. This is the third part of how to start a container garden for your own garden. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to plant those plants. So let's just get to it. Let's get growing. So the first thing I'm going to show you how to do you all see those? These are the stackers from Dollar Tree. We're going to plant strawberries in these. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to kind of make a little bit of a hole. You know, kind of move the dirt and the soil back. That should be good. You're going to take your plant, gently take your hands, can you all see that, around the base of the plant. Turn it over, kind of give it a tap, and it should let go. There we go. Can you all see that? It's still upside down. Gently, I want you to gently kind of just push the root system gently. You don't need to be crazy about it. This isn't the Charmin squeeze, okay? Gently. Okay. Can you all see that plant? Okay. Keep holding your leaves up gently. Now I want to show you something that they did with this plant. But again, you see that right there? This is the crown. And we're just going to gently press that together. Turn that pot. Make another hole. Get another strawberry. This one's got a strawberry on it. You see that? And we're going to put our tag in so we know what kind of strawberries they are. Gently pull it out. Gently put it in. Turn it. Make your hole again. Gently. Give it a little tiny squeeze. Kind of loosen the roots up. Put it in. Bring the soil around. Make sure it's in there. And there you go. We got the first tier done. Second tier. I've already filled it up. Already amended the soil. Now, gently move your plants around and set it down on top. There you go. You see the second tier? Out. We're going to start at the far side because it's the one furthest away from us. In. Done. It's that simple. Don't make it complicated. Don't overcomplicate it for yourself. Plants are very resilient, and they will, if you water them, keep them from burning in the sun, give them a little food every once in a while, they will be just fine. There are some plants that are a little more picky than others, but for the most part, put that tag right there. Put it in. And voila. Now we'll continue to plant and stack. But if you can see how that stacks, you're alternating the way it sits on there. So when you water with this particular stack, so if this one's on the top, it's going to come down and water these down here. And the one that is sitting this way, the opposite way, we'll do the opposite side. It'll water these down here. So it'll look like that. Like that. And then this one will go like that. So what will happen is when you water this cell, it'll water the cell below it. When you water this cell, it'll water the cell below it. And then it's completely set up. Now, if you've bought plants, guess what you have? You have starters for your seeds next year or in the fall, however you want to do it. So we're going to talk about, just real quick, about some household items. If you can't afford blood meal or bone meal that you can use around your house, this is coffee grounds. You know, you use coffee grounds or even tea bags. Take the tea, the ground tea, and you can just take a little bit of this, put it in the soil, and voila, natural nitrogen. You already have it, go ahead and use it. These are your eggs. If you eat eggs, keep your shells, rinse them out, keep them, put them in a bag, crush them as small as you can get them, and the same thing, put them in your soil. I'm going to show you this cutie patootie. This was not here on my first video. These are called cocoa core cells. See them? Little tiny things. You take them, you put them in a bowl of water, and they soak up everything, and they become a little cell to start your seeds in. And that's what we're going to do next. We're going to talk about seeds. Okay, now we're going to discuss planting seeds, and I've chosen the Sage container seed packet. Again, on the back of each packet, it tells you all the information you need to grow it. This one says its days to germination are 10 to 20 days. The depth in which you want to sow, 1/4 of an inch. Plant spacing, once you put it out or in a container, you keep it 6 to 12 inches apart from another plant. It tells you how tall it will grow, 18 to 24 inches. And right here, can you all see that? It tells you that it's a perennial. And a perennial means it's going to come back every year as long as you don't kill it, which is hard to kill. Okay. So, move that out of the way. We're going to take some seed starter. Again, don't make it complicated. Give a little pat. You're going to kind of push it down a little bit. Fill it up the rest of the way. Like so. Now, I always put 4 seeds to each pot. See it? So, we're going to take, remember, it's just barely in the soil. Boop. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I do 4, so it gives me at least 4 plants to choose from, because if you only put 1 seed in there and it dampens off, you've lost that seed, and we're going to talk about that here in just a minute. You've lost that seed. But if you have 4 plants, you have 4 to choose from. You choose the strongest one if you don't know how to separate. As time goes on and we are doing more of these videos and we get to the point where it's time to separate plants, we will have a video on how to separate your plant. So don't worry, that is coming. And there you go. So you want to mark it. You can use a popsicle stick. You can buy a marker. You can buy they have little pot markers at Dollar Tree where you can put the name on it. But the one recommendation and the tip that I give you, whatever you use, put the date on the back of when you planted it. And that way you know, if you're waiting on your seed and you spend 10 days, you're like, okay, well, might take a few more days. But you look at that stick and it's been 30 days and you don't have a plant, it's probably pretty good odds it's not going to grow. It's not germinated and it's not coming. So that's my tip for that. Now we're going to plant in one of these guys. So these are pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. Now it has room to have 2 seeds, so you see that little hole. I'm just going to kind of move that around, kind of tousle the soil underneath it, put it in there. stuff it in, and that's it. That's all you do. And you put it in a little container. You'll see that that's a bottom water tray. Just like that. Same thing with your plant. You're going to put it in a bottom water tray. Now, I know a lot of you are on a tight budget. You can't get these. Don't worry. These actually you can get very cheap online at Amazon. I just got a stack of them. Pretty inexpensive. Sorry, it's windy out here, guys. Pretty inexpensive. I want to say with taxes and shipping, it was under $12, and I got 10 of them. I'll try and find it and link it below in the description box. So, now that we've learned how to plant our plants, let's talk about some more beneficial things that you need to know. We kind of touched base on the second video about sanitizing our soil. If you do that and you're going along, your plants are in their pots, you start seeing gnats, or you see these little tiny larva things kind of moving around on the soil, or you see what looks like fuzz on top of the soil, or even green, extra green, that means that it's mold, or you have fungus gnats. Now, I don't want you to panic, okay? So here's what we're going to talk about, extra tips and things you can do to... Hydrogen peroxide, sorry, I had to find it. Hydrogen peroxide is a natural sanitizing element. You can take 4 parts of hydrogen peroxide to 2 parts of water, put it in a spray bottle. Make sure your spray bottle is dark. There's a reason why it's in this dark container, because if it's in a clear container, light actually breaks down the sanitizing component of the, I think it's H2O, oxygenated H2O. I'll have to look it up and link it down below. But it actually breaks it down where it's not as effective as it should be. So once you get it mixed up and you get it into a spray container, I'm going to tell you not to go after your plants immediately. Choose a plant, excuse me, and spray it on there. Wait 24 hours. If you don't see any kind of like your leaves curling in or any kind of damage happening to it, then you got the right ratio. If you see that, you're going to knock the ratio down. So it'll be 2 parts to 1 part. And what we're trying to do is just get you to where you're in a safe area, to where you're not going to kill your plants. Once you know that you're not killing your plants, you can begin to spray your plants. Spray the soil, spray the plants, and that will help you to combat the gnats from laying eggs, help you to kill the larva that's there, and can actually stop dampening off disease. And dampening off disease means that you've overwatered it and the roots are kind of rotting, and you don't want them to do that. You can also take that same solution if you have one of these underwatering trays and water your plants. When it's an actual plant, water your plants. It will soak up that water just like it would if you watered it with regular water, and it will help to keep disease away. It can be used to combat the disease, and it can be used to prevent the disease. Now, if you say, Dream, I don't know enough about that, I'm not comfortable with it, I'm afraid I'm going to kill my plants. Not a problem. Can't help you with the mold. You're going to have to do something if it's mold. But if you have gnats, go get you a large potato. Cut the potato up. Put it around the bottom of your plant or set it down on top of your seed trays. The larvae are naturally attracted to it, and it is scientifically proven, and I will link the study in the description box below. They're attracted to the potato and they bore into that potato, thus getting rid of what is eating your seedling roots. Leave it about 72 hours, take it off, discard it, throw it away. Don't leave it in the house, don't leave it in your greenhouse, don't leave it anywhere near your plants. Put it in the trash can, take it away. Get it away from your plants. After 72 hours, replace it, and keep doing that until you don't see gnats anymore. And that's a nice helpful tip. Now, for those of you who are like, okay, well, she just said something about watering too much and dampening off. How do I know if I'm watering too much or not enough? My easiest trick, and this is my tip for everybody, is go get you some popsicle sticks, the wood ones that are unpainted, uncolored. Take one of those, stick it in your pot. When you start to see the top of your soil kind of dry out, pull the stick up. If it is still wet underneath, you don't need to water it. Put the stick back down there. At any time you pull the stick up and it's dry, you need to water your plant. You don't want it to dry out, so you're looking for about that much dryness at the end of the stick, the very bottom. and that'll tell you, hey, I need to water my plants. Another way, once you get an established plant, which is the way my mom used to do it, she would take her finger and stick her finger into the soil. I don't know if you can see me doing that. Stick her finger into the soil. If the soil felt damp or moist, she did not water it. If it felt kind of more dry, then she would water her plant. And that was her easy way, you know, to tell herself that her plants. She also used to use these, they look like clay. For those of us, I'm almost 50 years, well, just turned 49. But if you grew up in the 70s and the early 80s, our moms used to use these clay sticks. They would stick them in their plants and they would know it would turn green. Once it was gray, you needed to water your plant. So you can use those. I don't even think they make those anymore, but that's the other way she used to do it. So that concludes our container garden series. If you found value in these videos, please give us a thumbs up. Feel free to leave a comment if you have other suggestions. I love, like I said in my last video, I love to learn. Once we stop learning, we stop growing as human beings. So please feel free to leave a comment in below. If you're new, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification button so you know when the next videos post. And I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Till then, take care.